What if I told you your eye color is not haphazard? I'll discuss today the special powers and spiritual meaning connected with different eye colors. You might find some of yourself reflected in these descriptions as I go through them. Though there should be some traits you relate with, not everything will apply to you. Knowing this will enable you to see how random nothing in life is. Words like accident and luck merely explain cause and effect, which we do not completely grasp. Your specific eye color was born with you. If it has changed, it also indicates a change in your aptitudes. We will look at this topic holistically at high levels today. If you would want more specific information, kindly leave a comment on one of my YouTube videos or contact me via social media. Starting with brown eyes, the most often occurring color among humans, let's explore. Though there are several tones of brown, I will concentrate on the overall traits of brown-eyed people. Naturally drawn to one or both of the elements I'm about to discuss, earth and fire, brown-eyed people, those with brown eyes thus have a strong connection to these aspects in their life. The link of the fire element stands for life force and activity. People with brown eyes are sometimes expected to be rather active in one or more spheres of their life. Their more resources than other eye colors make replenishment and storage of energy simpler. Particularly absorbent are brown eyes, which let these people pick frequencies and energy from the sun, solar consciousness, and Mother Earth Gaia. They thus get energy from above and below. Those with brown eyes are often vivacious and active. They usually have enough of vitality to spare. Should you have brown eyes, you could find that your energy reserves surpass those of others. Your natural activity and energy can show from this link with the earth and fire elements. Brown-eyed people often have more energy and resources, so whether you're dating, married, or friends with someone with different eye colors, you should know. If you have brown eyes, you could find that you can manage more chores at once and lack quick tiredness. Brown-eyed people sometimes manage several jobs, take care of their families, and enjoy active weekends. This is not to claim that every brown-eyed person is constantly active. Rather, they can accomplish more without feeling as tired as others. Brown-eyed people might be quite good in one field but not very interested in others. While some would be physically active and emotionally involved, others might be intellectual active. Though they usually have a lot of energy, this does not mean they are active in every sphere. Operating from a state of fullness rather than emptiness, their greater self intended for them to have an easy time renewing their energy. But since people know there will always be more, this abundance of energy can cause people to be less conscientious of their resources. Lack of planning might cause one to waste energy or try to finish too many chores at once. Brown-eyed people might not always see things through to completion and often find themselves easily distracted. Though they start many projects, they often fail to finish them. Another vital quality for brown-eyed people is passion. Whether they are about their beliefs or their romantic relationship, they are usually the most ardent. They highly respect integrity and moral standards. Those with brown eyes are more likely to be revolutionaries, driven to correct what they perceive as global wrongness, often the ones who volunteer and declare, "I'm here to fix this." Usually not the quiet types found in the corner are brown-eyed people. Their inclination for the fire element helps them to often express themselves more precisely. They are hence natural communicators, often charismatic and persuasive. They are adept in reaching their objectives by means of good communication. Their friendly, inviting, and convincing power comes from this fire energy. Natural communicators, brown-eyed people might shine in law, politics, education, or any creative field. Often quite creative, they should think about what they are here to produce. Their creations span writing books or poems, as well as artwork including paintings and sculptures. It could also suggest establishing particular living conditions, family structure, or frequency for their community or themselves. If you have brown eyes, you might be especially suited for starting change and assuming leadership positions. Brown-eyed people often store a lot of energy, which is required for guiding others. Those who want to be leaders in their life could decide to have brown eyes. Brown-eye people often have great endurance. This is the reason you might have chosen brown eyes if your life demands a lot of physical work. Their higher pain threshold also helps them to withstand more than others. Brown-eyed persons naturally and intuitively relate with Mother Earth, sometimes referred to as Gaia. Gaia spots her children in their brown eyes. Brown-eyed persons thus feel comfortable on Earth and have great capacity to absorb and release environmental energy. Their capacity helps them to let grudges and negative feelings go faster than others. They are less prone to be clinging to things for too long and can more successfully clear their systems. Everybody is different. Some people develop clinging behavior from trauma or abandonment concerns. Generally speaking, brown-eyed people release and accept things quickly. Their relationship to the earth also implies that they naturally enjoy plenty. They might find it simpler to support their families, pay their bills, work long hours, and go above and beyond. For physically taxing activities like marathon running or childbirth, they possess the endurance and resilience needed. Let us now focus on those having blue eyes. If you have blue eyes, air and water are the two main elements your higher self has selected for you to carry and radiate. Blue-eyed individuals might be connected to one more than the other, or both elements. Usually, light blue eyes are more associated with air, deeper blue eyes are more associated with water. Should your eyes land in the middle, you could relate to both aspects. Blue eyes abound among extraterrestrials, especially those from the Nordic region. This does not mean that all blue-eyed persons are starseeds. Many extraterrestrials prefer to manifest with blue eyes. Blue-eyed people can link to higher realms and keep touch with other planets by means of this connection to air and ether. Opening their higher chakras, that is, the throat chakra, third eye, and crown chakra, blue-eyed people usually find it easier from birth. These chakras may be active and have a pre-existing relationship to higher realms. Natural talents for connecting with the Akashic records, developing clairvoyance, and contacting with spirit guides abound among blue-eyed people. Their upward connection makes them often more near to God or the Source. But this can cause them to be less grounded than brown-eyed people, who have a closer relationship with the planet. Blue-eyed people often have to remind themselves that they are incarnated and have physical obligations, including rent payment and income generation. For them, especially as they grow more spiritually oriented, this can be quite challenging. Their intellectual interests come first, thus they might neglect to give basic needs, including eating and exercise, top priority. Because of their link with the air element, blue-eyed people have a great connection to their intellect. They are naturally smart, prone to overanalyzing, and quite reflective. More than any other eye color, blue-eyed people are prone to be introverted. By contrast, those with brown eyes are more extroverted. Blue-eyed people have to be careful with their energy and apply methodical approaches for control. Their lack of stable energy forms that of the air and water they are connected to makes stability challenging to keep. They might wake up depressed and tired and prone to mood swings. Moreover, they absorb more from their environment than persons with different eye colors. They are quite sensitive to the emotions, feelings, and ideas of others. Those with blue eyes are quite receptive to both good and negative energies. They are therefore flexible and adaptable, but also vulnerable to outside influences. They can seem as open invitations for other entities to participate in their auric field without the natural protective systems others have. Like air or water, they are readily absorbed and affected by whatever is thrown upon them. Blue-eyed persons would especially benefit from having a partner with brown or green eyes, since their lack of stability. Such partners can link them to the outside world, so enabling a sense of stability and belonging and helping them to feel more at peace. Blue-eyed people value their freedom and would rather keep their options open, thus they often struggle to commit to anything. Those with blue eyes have to keep some degree of freedom. To re-energize and remain rooted, they need time for themselves, away from outside influences. Their need for autonomy calls for them to always plan some personal time free of responsibilities and expectations. People with blue eyes are quite sensitive to the ideas and emotions shared by others. Usually without awareness, they naturally scan their surroundings and sense these energies. They are thus quite sensitive to the feelings of others and prone to mood swings. For them, especially dangerous are toxic surroundings and relationships. Blue-eyed people have sensitivity, thus they have to surround themselves with non-toxic and encouraging relationships. One's mental health may suffer in response to a controlling or toxic partner. They flourish most when their autonomy is valued and they have time for introspection and personal growth. Extremely flexible and easily able to manage changes, blue-eyed people are stability suffers, though, in order to make this possible, they have to strike a mix between their adaptability and grounding techniques and supportive relationships if they are to feel steady in their life. Blue-eyed people, often connected with Aquarian energy, excel in relationships that let them some freedom. If one is put in a rigid box, or if there are too many expectations, one feels limited. They must thus have partners who recognize their demand for autonomy. They ought to have personal time and freedom by means of their own space or interests. Those around blue-eyed people greatly influence them. They need a healthy, encouraging surroundings since they absorb the feelings and ideas of others. People who are toxic can have a major negative effect on others, thus one needs to be surrounded with positive influences. Their sensitivity makes them very influenced by controlling partners, thus it is crucial for them to be in relationships honoring their freedom. Blue-eyed people do not fit rigid schedules and strict routines. Their day needs unstructured time so they may float and adjust as needed. Their happiness and balance are kept by this adaptability, since strict plans can cause one to feel imprisoned and under stress. Blue-eyed people usually have less energy than others. They have to be intentional in their time and effort distribution, emphasizing on less ongoing projects to prevent burnout. Their strong emotional response can be a gift as well as a challenge. Emotions are connected with water, thus blue-eyed people experience them more strongly than others. This depth helps them to be astute character analysts, psychic and sympathetic. They are great in bringing people together and sense what others are thinking. This means, though, that their words and deeds could inflict major damage. Negative remarks can linger for years, thus one has to be careful about their emotional surroundings. Given their great sensitivity, blue-eyed people have to routinely detox. Their bodies do not release toxins as readily as others, thus intermittent fasting or fasting overall is helpful. Eating light on food such as salads or smoothies helps with digestion. Because they are less grounded, blue-eyed people are more likely to have digestive issues, thus they have to pay extra care with their diet. Depression and mood swings are more likely among blue-eyed people than among others. Their emotional volatility demands that one consider their mental health. They might find it difficult to let go of things and harbor resentment, which could set off bad chains reaction. Their well-being depends on their ability to identify this inclination and find means of release and let off. Even with these difficulties, blue-eyed people are often spiritually brilliant. They can dream prophetically and are quite close to higher worlds. Given their often healing and guiding nature, paying attention to their dreams is absolutely vital. Their spiritual character is a great advantage since it gives them different points of view and links to higher realms. For those with blue eyes, dreams especially mean something. Frequently, they provide insights and messages vital for their own healing and personal growth. Giving dreams great attention can reveal important information. Blue-eyed people might also have a particular affinity to magical locations and creatures. They might be connected to planets like Arcturus or Lemuria, or locations like indicating a deeper, otherworldly connection. They might also be partial for dolphins, whales, and mermaids. Blue-eyed people need some degree of relationship autonomy. Should expectations limit or overwhelm them, they will look for a release. Their partners have to thus respect their autonomy. Having their own place or interests helps them to keep equilibrium and prevent feeling choked. These people are quite perceptive of the surroundings' influences. They should surround themselves with encouraging people since they absorb the feelings and ideas of others. They can be greatly influenced negatively as well. They also call for partners who respect their yearning for autonomy and avoid imposing too strict rules. Blue-eyed people would not fit rigid schedules and routines. When they have free time in the day, they flourish and can float and adjust as necessary. Their flexibility lets them stay balanced and content while avoiding the tension of too rigorous schedules. Often lacking the same energy reserves as others, Blue-eyed people, their dedication should be intentional, with an eye toward less projects to prevent burnout. Strong emotional reactions abound in them, which can present both advantages and difficulties. Those with blue eyes go through strong emotional events. They are psychic, sympathetic, and quite good in evaluating character. They can unite people by sense what others are thinking, but given their sensitivity, words and deeds can be quite painful. Negative remarks can linger for years, thus one has to be careful about their emotional surroundings. Blue-eyed people need regular detoxing. Practices like fasting or intermittent fasting help since their bodies do not readily release toxins as others. Eating smaller meals such as smoothies or salads can ease digestion. Their sensitivity makes them prone to digestive issues, thus they have to use care while eating. Though not only in the physical sense, green-eyed people are sometimes considered as the most mystical or witchy. They have a great bond to the earth. They also are closely related to the auric and etheric fields of the earth. Deeper connection helps them to be in tune with the elemental kingdom, which comprises trees, plants, and nature spirits. Green-eyed people really value nature. From all green, including crystals, moss, leaves, and grass, they get energy and power. Time in nature rejuvenates and heals them. They might enjoy working with plants, making tinctures, and using flowers and herbs to heal since they naturally gravitate for herbal medicine. Green-eyed people often relate to elementals including fairies, gnomes, fairies, dragons, and dryads, tree spirits. These relationships could give them special insights and skills. Their magical ability would be enhanced if they had past life links to either the inner earth or these elemental kingdoms. Especially with their hands, green-eyed people often have a natural gift for magic and healing. They shine in energy work including acupuncture and Reiki. Their natural healers are their hands, which can transmit and receive vitality. They might also be quite good at using tarot cards, pendulums, and runes, which call for touching and interacting with actual objects to channel magic. Creative activities stimulating the sacral chakra help green-eyed people. This covers yoga, dancing, painting, and other artistic expression. For them, a good sacral chakra is absolutely vital since it provides their inspiration and energy. For them, especially helpful is working with the divine feminine and the primordial emptiness. Although green-eyed people can be psychic, their talents usually differ from those of blue-eyed people. They depend more on gut emotions and physical sensations than on clear insights. Through their skin, they could feel energy. They then use tools to assist in channeling and interpretation of this energy. People with green eyes are drawn to magical rituals and techniques organically. They might have a great connection to old customs and ways of life, including the elements and nature. Their practical approach to magic helps them to maximize their natural skills in circumstances whereby they can physically interact with their tools and surroundings. Often reflecting facets of personality and spirituality, eye color can have deeper connotations than only a physical attribute. Knowing these interpretations will enable many people to better understand their own behavior and interaction with their environment. Let's examine what various eye colors imply about individuals and how they might use this knowledge to better grasp and grow their particular talents. Those with green eyes are quite in touch with energy and intuition. People often report getting a bad vibe from others, identifying negative energy that causes their hair to stand on end or generates goosebumps. This sensitivity to vibrations and physical sensations is a consistent roadmap through the demands of life. Seeing relevance in events like new moons, full moons, solstices, and equinoxes, those with green eyes are also drawn to ritual and ceremonies. For them, these holidays have great emotional resonance and help them to connect to a spiritual rhythm. Particularly sensitive to the energy of the moon, green-eyed people could have a strong inclination for smaller bodies of water like brooks and springs. They are adept in spellwork and magic since they have the special power to bless and alter the qualities of water with their words. Still, they have to use care with their words since they can either positively or negatively affect their reality. Their higher sensitivity and connection to energy point to possible past lives as witches, and they would gain from healing any karmic imbalances. Turning now to those with gray eyes, although they have distinct traits, they resemble blue-eyed people. Often observers, gray-eyed people can back off and view the big picture. Should they be symbolized by a zodiac sign, Libra, which stands for justice and balance, would be quite similar. Driven by a need for honor and integrity, they have a great feeling of obligation to correct injustices and assist others. Gray-eyed people may find it difficult sometimes to communicate or comprehend their feelings. Still, they are adept mediums or fortune tellers since they have a natural relationship to their ancestors and the spirit world. Their magnetic eyes easily draw possibilities and experiences, enabling them to balance their energy and stay centered, so manifesting their desires. Combining the traits of brown and green-eyed people, hazel eyes which mix tones of brown, green, and sometimes gold have those with hazel eyes often find great connection to the energy of the sun. They find strength and balance when wearing gold. Natural healers, they can address spiritual, emotional, and physical scars. Often having a great affinity for animals and a strong altruistic streak, these people are driven to serve others and bring about good change. Knowing the spiritual and energetic consequences of eye color can help one to better understand their personality, strengths, and direction in life. Investigating these links will help you become self-aware and direct your own personal development, whether you find great resonance in these descriptions or are fascinated about the meanings behind different eye colors. Knowing the spiritual and energetic meaning of eye colors will help us to better understand our personalities and career directions. Every eye color, green, gray, hazel, or with gold flecks, has unique qualities and relationships to spiritual forces. First, let us consider green eyes. Green-eyed people often have greater energy sensitivity. When confronted with negative energy from others, they may get physical reactions including goosebumps or hair standing on end. For them, rites and ceremonies connected with solstices or lunar phases have particular significance. Deeply linked to the energy of the moon, green-eyed people could find attraction in natural bodies of water like springs. They are adept in spiritual practices and magic, since they have a particular gift for blessing water and applying it in ceremonies. Their words either positively or negatively help to shape their reality. They may have participated in spiritual activities including witchcraft in past life and often have a strong intuitive sense. Turning now to those with gray eyes, although they have distinct traits, they resemble blue-eyed people. Gray-eyed persons are those who can stand back and view the whole picture in given circumstances. Like the scales of Libra in astrology, they naturally sense justice and fairness. Although they find it difficult to communicate their feelings, they are very close to their ancestors and the spirit domain. They are therefore adept mediums or fortune tellers, able to interact with spirits and understand more profound spiritual energies. Gray-eyed people often show their needs by alignment and centeredness. They naturally attract opportunities and experiences. Combining brown, green, and occasionally gold, hazel eyes reflect traits of both brown-eyed and green-eyed people. Often connected to the energy of the sun, they search for strength and balance using solar inspirations. Those with hazel eyes naturally have spiritual and emotional healing in addition to physical one. Driven by a need to support causes or help others, they might be quite attached to animals and show altruistic behavior. Often driven by a mission, hazel-eyed people seek to know their calling in this planet and who they should be helping. Now, if your eye shows specks or a hint of gold, you have a strong solar connection. Those with golden eyes are vivid and active since the sun gives them strength and energy. Gold-eyed people often have a life mission driven by the energy of gold. Natural healers, they can gently restore the soul and emotions. Many of them feel driven to serve others or a cause. Their magical talents include communication with animals and a great feeling of altruism. Mission-driven, golden-eyed people search for their calling and help to change the world. This twin eye color combines energies for those with one eye of one color and the other of another. It suggests that their higher self embraced both inside of them instead of being able to pick between the two energies. This twin energy shows a whole picture of life and experiences by manifesting as a unique mix of qualities and talents. Someone's energy and mood will change if their eye color varies depending on the lighting or throughout the day. This natural occurrence stresses the dynamic character of their personalities and spiritual relationships rather than influences their core energies. Ultimately, one's spiritual or energetic makeup is unaffected whether one wears colored lenses to alter eye color for cosmetic purposes. A person's internal energy never changes regardless of their outward appearance. Reflecting one's inner essence and relationship with the spiritual realm, true spiritual energy is deeper and more sophisticated than outward appearances. Knowing these revelations about eye colors will enable individuals to develop useful self-awareness and direction. Whether you find these descriptions fascinating or strongly agree with them, learning about the spiritual and energetic consequences of eye color will help you to better understand yourself and your particular road in life.